health. How would you put that? I thought today maybe I speak about a little bit about worldview, how we see the world, why meditation is important in relation to that, and how that influences our health. Right? And remember, the whole thing to do with meditation is to do with health. What influences our health predominantly is the mind. That's it. And how does it do it? Well, the mind is an activity. And in this activity, you have thoughts, you have um, memories, you are able to discriminate, and you're able to sense that you are. That's your mental space, right? Your mental ego space, let's call it that, your identity. And your identity, like mine, was created by people around us. It's not yours, it was given to you. So if you're born in a, I don't know, Catholic household, you will have a Catholic identity. If you're born in a Sikh household, you'll have a Sikh identity. Born in a political household, you'll have a political identity. It doesn't really matter where you are, but your identity is pretty much created by those around you. Now, this identity, there are some parts of it which can be healthy, but majority of the time, it's unhealthy. Why is it unhealthy? Well, the first thing is you actually begin to believe that you're this identity. You actually believe that, you're going to get to heaven or you're going to be reincarnated or whatever your understanding is. It really doesn't matter what it is. But you begin to believe this is to be my reality. And that may be true and that may not be true. So we are now in a time space where many of us are looking at ourselves, self-reflection. What is going on? What's the point of life? Who and why am I here? And then within those bigger questions, there are little bits that are to do with how you navigate the chaos that's unfolding around you. What's your attitude to it? Are you the do-gooder who's going to try and fix the world? In which case, you will find that you will be the most miserable person in the world. Because you cannot fix fire with fire. You can't. How can you put fire out? This fire that we are now experiencing comes in many ways. And in certain traditions, this time frame is called the dark time frame. And the reason the dark time frame, and so if you go about 500 years back, you will find there are many um, very accurate descriptions of a time when we are, which describes where we are. And this time is where that which is not true is forced upon you as the truth. That which is not true will be forced upon you as truth. Everything that you do will be for the benefit of another. Right? Whether that is emotional, to think about partnerships, yeah, they have to be built upon emotional transaction, but it's for the benefit of the other. So we become enslaved. We become enslaved. Hence, it's called the Dark Age, because we become ignorant. Why? Because the worldview that's being foisted upon you from all different directions, you're not allowed to think outside that. A very similar thing happened with COVID. Do you remember anyone who questioned it? You were kicked out. You were made the anti-vax or whatever, whatever, whatever. So it's the same with religions. You question the religious understanding, you become the pariah. You're kicked out. Can't be questioned. So when this narrative is being forced upon you, you know it can't be true. You know it can't be true because it needs questioning. Unless it's questioned, unless you are satisfied through three different criteria. Whatever you're witnessing, is it logical? Two, is it consistent? And three, Is it experiential? Can you see it? Can you feel it? If it doesn't fit these three criteria, doesn't matter what the worldview is, doesn't matter what it is. Could be religious, could be political, could be an ideology that we are having now foisted upon you to do with fluidity, worldview, changing a worldview. Go to any developing country and they'll laugh you out of the town. They say, why are you wasting your time on such stupid things when life is so precious? So this world that we began with, that has been harbored within us, that worldview believes how things ought to be. And whenever it comes across things that are not the way they are, this worldview experiences emotional distress. That's it. All pain is, all suffering boils down to, not saying what it is, there are different layers to it, boils down to is things are not the way you want them to be. Things are not the way you want them to be. That's it. And if you realize that, you realize the greater the gap, more the suffering. So, what's the antidote? It's easy to look at the illness, but what's the antidote? The antidote has to follow those three rules: logical, sequential, consistent, and experiential. So, existence, all that you see around you, seems to be evolving and moving by itself. No one's pushing the clouds. Air currents, you can say, are moving it. Well, what's moving the air currents? All right, the electromagnetic fields. All right, what's making the electromagnetic fields? How far do you want to go? And you will feel that doesn't matter how far you go, or how deep you go, or how far out you go. The whole thing takes care of itself. The whole thing. Under the sea, on a mountain, in the Antarctic, in the snow, everything. It's all taking care of itself. The leaf knows it needs to be green for the sun to be photosynthesized. Everything works to a logical space. Everything. You can see the logic behind it. So there is logic. The problem logic comes across is, well, where did it come from? That's a question of logic. But we'll address that in a minute. The second one is it consistent? Well, yeah. Last year we had a summer, winter, autumn, spring. This year we haven't. Yesterday there was night and today is day. Tonight there will be night, tomorrow there will be a day. It's consistent. Yeah. The seed goes into a tree, goes into a flower, goes into a fruit, goes into a seed. It's consistent. It's experiential. Now, when you see that, when you recognize it, and there are different stages, the first thing is to actually recognize what the hell's going on. Not be so self-absorbed. That we are so self-absorbed, there is so much self-importance that we miss life. In the grand space of things, you don't really matter. No one's going to miss you in 100 years from today. How much do we miss anyone? You may say it, but all it is, the absence doesn't give you the satisfaction you want. So look at it from a broader space. You begin to see it and say, well, yeah, there it is. It's in front of me. Begin to recognize it. That recognition will then be integrated, meaning you will understand it. Once you understand it, recognize it, realize it, and then you become it because you're no different from it. In that, there is much healing that takes place. You let go of all that does not serve you. Why are you carrying it? What does it serve? What does it serve? So we can look at things that provide us with pain, with suffering. And there are some things which require the honor to go through them. But then there are some things that may have happened many years ago, but we still drag them. We're a different human being. We're in a different space. And your responsibility is to no one apart from you. No one else. Because you're accountable for you. No one's going to stand there with a piece of paper and say, well, have you been a good person or a bad person? No one. This whole Dharamraj thing is your internal space. You will see all that you've done and all the consequences of that first upon you. So, let me go through the consequences. Let's say I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling guilt, or I'm feeling an emotion that is critical of me, right? Critical of me, self judgment, critical of me. This lowers my vibration, so to speak. It lowers my vibration. And what that means is wherever I am, I'm impacting all that's around me. So you may be in a great mood, but because you've become entangled with my space, it will impact you. I'm responsible. I'm responsible for bringing misery to you. So this process is recorded. This process is recorded. Anger, anything like that, it's recorded. And this record ties you with these people, ties you with these circumstances. So why do you think all the traditions speak about forgiving yourself, forgiving others, and allowing yourself to be forgiven? Because where there is that, you're not accountable to anyone. Once we begin to recognize that, because otherwise it's your ego, your worldview that's telling you who you're accountable to, whether it's your prime minister or whether it's your priest or whatever it is. And I think this authority has to be yours, no one else's. So once we begin to honor our human experience, you feel pain, it's good. You feel pleasure, it's good. Don't run towards one without the other, because they follow each other. They're two sides of the same coin. The fool runs for pleasure because in it is the pain. Yeah, this is the way things are. Find your middle ground. When you feel pain, honor it. Don't make it into a drama, meaning wishing things to be different. Getting involved in that story, expanding it, playing with it, doing all of that, and making the next moment miserable. No? But at the same time, on the other side, you have a moment of joy, pleasant, peacefulness. Don't try and hold on to it, because that too will change. So, this is where we begin to understand things are the way they are. Our attitude and response to it will determine our health. And this boils down to your identity, because if you feel the world should be this way or people should act this way, then your identity, your expectations will give you misery. But if you can see, yep, this is my identity, these are the expectations of my identity, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to freak out. That's the difference. It's not that we negate the identity, we begin to realize it. And the mask we wear, whatever you want to call it, there are many of them that we wear, we know we're not it, but we wear a decent one. See what I'm saying? So, ego is not a bad thing in itself. The problem happens when you think you're it, you're that identity. This is where the problem arises. Once you can realize that, and only through meditation will you realize that, because your ego can only exist through thought. When you're asleep, where is it? You don't even know you're there. See what I'm saying? So it's an artificial construct, yeah, that you plug into the moment you wake up. You plug into it, and then you work through it. And at night, it's still there, but you're plugged off, switched off. And then every so often, you will have little glimpses of it through your REM, your dream states. Yeah, consciousness is like the light bulb in the middle of a lamp, and your ego is the lampshade. That's it. When the light is on, the lampshade is operational. Yeah, you can see the pattern. You identify with that. You identify with the lampshade. You don't see the light, you see the lampshade. But the moment you focus on the light, the lampshade disappears. That's what meditation is as a metaphor. Okay, I think I've spoken enough about that. So let's look at some meditation. So as usual, um, so always begin with the body. So what is meditation? It's simply becoming aware. That's all there is to it. Becoming aware, and we begin always with the body because the body is the growth space. So all in all, there are three categories that we can look at within ourselves. One is the physical, one is the psychological, the subtle, and one is right at the end, that's still space. Okay, so let's begin with the physical first. So your eyes are closed if you feel comfortable with that. If you don't, you can look towards the ground, not focus on anything. Your back is straight and upright, and your shoulders are pulled back somewhat. So your chest feels open, and you want to make sure that the shoulders are not hunched because we tend to fold that sometimes. You just allow them to soften and relax. Your arms, hands are comfortable. So just make a note of that. As you take a breath in, I want you to bring your focus to yourself and notice if the body is in any discomfort. If there's anything in the body at this moment, like a pain, a tightness, an itch, an ache, and to help you with this, you're going to imagine a hula hoop above your head. As this hoop begins to descend down, it lights up your body for sensations. So begin to go down from the top of your head, moving across your forehead, your face, gently scanning yourself down, all the way down. And once you've got there, take a quick check-in of the body, see if there's anything that it's identified, a pain, an ache, a tightness, an itch. Okay? And all you want to do is just locate it. No commentary, no judgment, no working it out. Just thinking, is there any physical discomfort in my body at this moment? Okay. Next, you're going to bring your focus now gently to the chair you're on, and you're going to notice that you're held in place. You're supported. Now, what this means is that you can allow yourself to let go a little bit, soften yourself, allow this chair to completely hold you. You're not going to go anywhere. Yeah? And then notice there are sensations where the chair makes contact with your body, sensations created by the pressure of your body against the chair. Notice those sensations. So you're just going to focus on those. And then as you breathe in, you're going to bring your focus up towards your hips. Okay? You're going to hold it there for a few moments. And then as you breathe out, allow this awareness to move down your thighs, scanning your thighs all the way down to your knees. From your knees, you move down. So scan the calf muscle, the back of your leg. And then you scan the front. And then from your ankles, becoming aware of your feet. And then moving your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. As you breathe in, you bring your focus back to the chair, the seat you're on. Once again, allow it to hold you in place. Notice that your back is straight and upright. And as you breathe in, you're going to bring your focus from your lower back, gently moving it up towards your middle back. A deliberate attempt to notice anything that's dominant in this part of the body. And as you do your body scan, you begin to relax that part of the body as well. So it has two benefits. From your middle back, you bring up towards your shoulder blades. And then gently bringing your awareness to your shoulders. See if you can soften your shoulders a little bit. Allow them to relax somewhat. And then gently moving this awareness, this focus down your shoulders towards your elbows. From your elbows, we move down to your wrists. It's okay if you get distracted, come back to my voice. And then moving gently to the palms of your hands. Try and hold your focus at the palms of your hands. And all you're doing is you're just sensing them. You're not imagining them, you're not thinking about them, you're just holding your focus there. And then you take your focus down to your fingers. Next breath in, bring your focus up towards your eyes. And you will notice darkness. It is not your eyes that see the darkness, but the awareness. Recognizing that you are aware. And no matter what you do, you can't switch this awareness off. Noticing the back of your eyelids. And then as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften and relax. Bringing your focus now towards your mouth. Notice your lips first. And all this means is simply scanning the top lip and then the bottom lip. And just becoming aware of the sensations that are present there right now. And then on your next breath in, bringing your focus to your inside your mouth. So notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth, on the inside cheeks. Notice your tongue. Allow it to soften. And then as you breathe out, you allow your face to soften and relax. Next breath in, once again becoming aware of yourself as best as you can. Notice your body. Notice anything that's dominant in it. And now we're going to move a bit deeper. Next breath in, bring your focus now to your inner space. And what this means is your thoughts and how you're feeling. So let's look at our mental space first. Do you feel alert or do you feel drowsy? Do you feel attentive, focused, or do you feel distracted? No judgment, simply looking at the way things are right now. And if you're being distracted by a thought, where is this distraction going? And then bringing your focus gently to your chest. And you're going to hold it at the surface of your chest. Allow the chest to fall and rise by itself. And notice how the breath is synchronized with the movement of your chest. Breath comes in, chest expands. As the chest relaxes, the breath goes out. Hold your focus on that. Allowing the breath to breathe by itself. See if you can notice the subtle sensations around your ribs as the chest moves out, as the chest moves in. And then let's bring your focus now a bit deeper into yourself, right to your very heart. And you want to hold your awareness there as best as you can, waiting. Waiting to notice how you're actually feeling right now. Right this moment. Is this moment enough? Does this moment feel peaceful or do you feel irritated? Do you feel settled or do you feel unsettled? Is this moment dukh or is this moment sukh? Is this moment suffering or is this moment non suffering? Just this moment. On your next breath out, open your awareness to all the sounds and noises around you. Allow any sound to come to you. You're not looking for it, you're not trying to work it out, you're simply listening. And you're going to follow the sound of this bell as best as you can. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose and begin to watch your breath, allowing your breath to breathe by itself, holding your focus with a little bit of effort if needed. Knowing when the breath comes in, knowing when the breath goes out. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing in. When you find that your focus has been distracted by a thought or my voice or a sound, notice the distraction breath, watching the in-breath moving in, breath moving out. Notice that the breath can be divided into four parts. The in-breath comes in, stops, there's a little gap. The out-breath begins, stops, and there's a little gap. See if you can notice the four parts of your breath. To help us get deeper into this moment, focus on the out-breath. Begin to follow it all the way till the end. Using your breath, your out breath to draw you deeper and deeper into the moment of now. Relaxed yet alert. Stay with your breath, following your out breath all the way till the end. Notice when it finishes. Notice how the breath feels now. Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? Does your breath feel long? Does it feel short? Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel rough? And then bringing your focus to the sound of your breath. Listening to the in breath, listening to the out breath. Listening to the in breath, listening to the out breath as best as you can. On your next breath out, once again, you're going to simply open your awareness, begin to listen to all the sounds and noises around you, not looking for them again, not working them out, but just listening. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose, sitting with your breath in silence. And just notice your experience as best as you can. If you feel peaceful, then focus on the peace. If you feel still, focus on the stillness. If you feel relaxed, focus on the relaxation. And in this state, whatever you focus on amplifies. If you focus on the safety, feeling still, peace. On your next breath out, gently expand your awareness, including your whole body as best as you can. Once again, aware of yourself from the head all the way to the toes. Notice how the body feels first. Any discomfort? Once again, bring your focus to the chair that you're on. Notice the sensations. And then using those sensations as an anchor, you bring your focus up to your hips. Gently moving down your thighs again, slowly, meticulously, with care, giving yourself a much needed cellular hug. From your knees, you move down towards your ankles. Notice your feet. And notice the soles of your feet. Coming back to the chair that you're on, notice the back is straight upright, shoulders, arms, hands are comfortable, your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Once again, coming back to your breath. And now, as the breath comes in, you sense your body. As the breath goes out, you sense your body. Breathing in, you're at peace. Breathing out, you're at peace. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few slow, deep breaths in, gently coming back out. Setting the intention, bringing the intention to smile.